You are now tuned in to Go Time Dolphins with Charlie Touche and Kadeem Simmons, the Miami Dolphins podcast that's for the fans and by the fans.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's show time. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Don't waste no time.
I thought you was in the intro. It's clearly me. Like I always start the show. I don't know why I thought it would be you. So it's on me. But this is the intro.
This guy.
It is this guy. The great, the GOAT.
You see, training is about to start, bro. We need to clean that type of stuff up and train them before we even get to the preseason. You know what I'm saying? We gotta get the feng shui back.
Listen, I haven't even been sent my own playbook for this year yet. So right now I'm still in off-season mode. But listen, the 2024 draft is in the books. All 7 rounds are completed, but the draft does not finish there. As Miami Dolphins fans, we know not better than other teams, but we've seen a lot of success with undrafted free agents over the past few years. So in this episode, we will talk about the UDFA the Dolphins have picked up and the chances of making the roster. Before we delve into that, Mr. Charlie Touche, how are you?
It's Go Time Dolphins, the Miami Dolphins podcast that goes not only across the pond, but across the world. I'm your boy, Charlie Touche. Got my co-host, Kadeem Simmons, with me. It's always for the fans and by the fans. Your favorite podcast. I just want to bring up real quick the news that came out the other day about Tank Dell being shot. Crazy. He was in Florida at the time. Man, it's foolishness. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it could be wrong place, wrong time. I don't know the entire story, but man, bro, like there's so much ahead of these boys' futures, and then you hear stuff like this, and it could have been worse. You know what I'm saying? But man, shout out to Tank Dell. Came out of nowhere. Could have been a rookie of the year prospect. So hope Tank Dell gets well. UDFAs, Kadeem. Listen. Who are you more intrigued by? The most intriguing UDFA that the Dolphins brought in. Who is it?
So I legit have 2 different answers for this. My first answer is Bayron Matos, the tackle from UCF, and I'm intrigued by him because he never played football before. He's a basketball player, but when you look at him, you're like, you're switching to football. I can imagine like in college, you know, he's on the basketball court or even just walking around campus, and football coach sees him and is like, why aren't you in practice right now? Come over right now. So I also think he's like the highest paid Dolphin in terms of UDFAs. I think they paid him a bag. Let me quickly double check this. Yeah, $22,500 signing bonus and a $225,000 guaranteed salary for
Right. So yeah, I was waiting for the 200 because usually the most you can pay, I think, is 200. So now I don't know how to pronounce the name yet. I think it's Byron Matos, but we'll figure it out along the way. 6'9", 6'9", 290, has never played football, bro. I'm here for the physical attributes. He's undrafted. You know what I'm saying? None of this money goes against the cap. You know what I'm saying? I'm here for, let's figure out if we can make this man into a project or not. You know what I'm saying? That is the most intriguing UDFA. There's one more, but he's the most intriguing UDFA for sure. Like, you might strike gold. And we've had some pretty good UDFAs, and I'm not saying any of these hit. But that is, if you are not intrigued by 6'9", 290 basketball player, there's gonna be a turn into a developmental tackle. I don't know if you ever be intrigued by anything.
100%. It's interesting. It's like again, UDFA never played football before, and this isn't the same because this person had played essentially rugby before, even though it's a different sport. But Jordan, is it Malayata from the Eagles? The offensive lineman. But yeah, they've got offensive lineman, 27, plays tackle. They took him in the 7th round, and he played rugby beforehand. They brought him into it's essentially the year he was drafted, which is like 5 years ago, was when he first started playing football, and he's one of the best offensive linemen in the league. I'm not saying the same thing can happen with us, but there's recent history of someone making the jump to football and being amazing. I think the next player outside of Bayron is it's a it's a toss up between Andrew Mayer and Hayden. Is it Rucci or Rookie? But again, I'll go with Hayden simply because he's a tight end, and the Dolphins didn't draft any tight end, which I thought they were going to. So yes, we picked up Johnny Smith. Yes, we got Durham Smythe. But I feel like the Dolphins in back-to-back years have tried to find a tight end really late on, and it hasn't quite panned out. I think if Hayden Rookie can, I'm going to go with Rookie for now.
I think it's Rucci. Hayden Rucci.
It probably is Rucci. If Hayden Rucci can, I think Hayden Rucci has probably one of the best chances of making it onto the roster, simply because I think the Dolphins really, really want and need a tight end to pan out.
Bro, where we at? This guy, Ohio State guard, Matthew Jones, interior O lineman, started 40 games, I think, at Ohio State. Did not get drafted. Power 5 school, not just a Power 5 school, a perennial top 10 university for college football, and he started like 40 games. Why didn't you get drafted, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on here? So
he is 24.
Who's 24?
Matthew Jones.
What I mean? Oh, so he's 24 and he didn't get drafted because he's older?
No, but I mean, sometimes teams kind of, I feel like when Garrett Bowles got drafted, like really drafted someone at that age. If you're thinking about in terms of contracts and stuff like that, by the time you get to his second contract, he's 29. Obviously, offensive lineman can go a bit longer, but seeing his age, I can understand why teams are like, we'd rather work with someone who's a bit younger, a bit fresh, and probably isn't so set in their ways as opposed to Matthew Jones. Not saying he's not going to pan out. I'm just saying.
Bro, the man is 24, not 34, bro. Can he contribute or not? You know what I'm saying? A 6th round pick, 5th round pick, 4th round pick? Like, come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? Hey, what's up with your internet, Kadeem? Like, your internet decided it wanted to, what y'all say, take a mic?
Take the mic. It's been so fine the last, I don't even know. Like, it was fine on Sunday when we went live and we done Patreon, and now it decides to mess around. I think Shaq is playing video games upstairs. So yeah, blame him.
So UDFAs, bro, Kadeem. You diamonds in the rough, right? Shout out to a couple people who came to the podcast. You know, we had some prospects come to the podcast. We hope the best for them. And when I tell you, you can just only hope for the best. This is the 1%, the 1% of people of players that played college football potentially trying to go to the NFL. And then when you have someone like Julius Wilkerson that we brought into the podcast, Kadeem, end up in Tampa. It's Tampa, right?
Yes.
Julius Wilkerson ended up in Tampa. Yeah, he went to the Bucks. And if you've seen that episode with him on this podcast, you know he's a football player. Like, I don't even think he would function right out of football. So the fact that he has the opportunity to go be in front of some people and be what he is as far as an athlete, man, I'm excited for dude, bro.
Yeah, definitely. It's life-changing. It really is. He was a great guy. Wish him nothing but the best in Tampa. Obviously, I wish he went to Miami, but listen, Tampa ain't too far. you're enjoying the sun. It is what it is. I was also looking at where's his name gone. I had him down on my list. The other offensive lineman the Dolphins took. His name escapes me right now.
Andrew Meyer.
Yes. Again, and I think it's because yes, the Dolphins went Patrick Paul in the second round, and I'm sure the Dolphins will keep on telling everyone, and I believe them when they say if they are fine at offensive line. There's spaces and battles to be won on the offensive line for the Dolphins. If you have a great camp, at the very least, you probably stick around on the practice squad. And no offense to the Dolphins offensive line players, but they've been quite injury prone over the last few years. So, spaces open up. If you can just stick around to the end, make it onto the practice squad, I legit think there's a chance that they get called up during the season.
So I don't want to blow it out of proportion. But when you're a UDFA, you have a chip on your shoulder. And the opportunity of a lifetime is in front of you. You didn't get drafted. You chose. And here's the process. When you're a UDFA, that means you didn't get drafted. You probably have representation. You probably have an agent. And the agent said, hey, here are the teams that are interested in you. And you say, okay, out of these 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 teams, where do I think I could win? Meaning win a position. Like, where do I think I could win a roster spot? Where can I go and compete and probably like get on the 53? So when you end up in Miami, bro, and you said this on the last podcast, you said this on the last episode, Kadeem. You was like, Patrick Paul wanted to be in Miami. I ain't gonna lie, Kadeem. I'm pretty sure everybody wants to be in Miami, bro. Like, it's Miami. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure everybody like, yo, I don't have to deal with the cold weather. I'm on the beach. I'm single out here in these streets. You feel me? I'm pretty sure a lot of people want to be in Miami. But when you're a UDFA and you end up in Miami, I think it's a little different. I don't think it's because it's Miami. I think it's like, nah, I think this is my best chance to win a roster spot. Genuinely. Like, when you're drafted to Miami is one thing. When you're a UDFA and you choose Miami, I don't think it's for the lights, the lifestyle, the location. I think it's really, nah, man, I got something to prove. And I appreciate UDFAs that end up making it even on the practice squad.
Yeah. And again, like, you look at some of the more notable names over the last few years: Nick Needham, Kader Kohu, Preston Williams. Like, two of those guys, Nick Needham and Kader Kohu, are still with the Dolphins right now. If Preston Williams didn't get injured, he probably would still be a Dolphin right now because
so
he's
frequently
a unicorn.
too. Yeah, straight up. That's his nickname, the unicorn too. Bro, listen, I'm glad you brought that up, Kadeem. Nick Needham, Kader Kohu, UDFAs. I said a couple episodes ago, the Miami Dolphins really think they the Miami Heat or the San Antonio Spurs, like they have the best developmental program in the league. I don't know who does. I don't think we do, but we did hit a couple times. Bro, we got Cam Wake from Canada. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. The Dolphins do some things right. So who's the next Nick Needham? Who's the next Kader Kohu? Who's the next Preston Williams? I'm here for it, bro. Storm
Duck.
Duck. Storm Duck. That's this player's name. Storm Duck. This man is 6'1", 200 pounds. He's a corner. Has length, plays with range. For Storm Duck, and he was actually a notable. Like, we thought he would be drafted. The people who are like the Charlie Wilsons of the world who do a big board. I'm pretty sure. Hey, is Storm Duck on Charlie Wilson's big board? Was he on Charlie Wilson's big board? I think in major circles they thought Storm Duck would be drafted late. The fact that a DB comes to Miami as a UDFA and says, nah, bro, I think I can get a spot there. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I need. I need a corner that did not get drafted and says, nah, I'm gonna beat somebody out in Miami. I don't know if Storm Duck's gonna beat somebody out in Miami, but I like the fact that he thinks he can.
again, we mentioned Nick Needham and Kader Kohu. That's 2 in the last 5 years, which is a great hit rate. By the way, has my internet improved?
It did a little
Because
bit.
I didn't do nothing to improve. But yeah, and you mentioned the corners. Again, I'm looking at, and we've essentially named every single person, but I'm looking at Grayson Murphy, the edge player from UCLA, and Leonard Payne from Colorado, the defensive tackle. 2 guys are probably thinking, again, with injuries, with guys who have left the building, I've probably got a really, really, really good chance of making this roster. Because, listen, I don't think, Grayson Murphy's going to beat out, Shaq Barrett, Chop Robinson. But if Jalen Phillips and Fender Podcast Bradley Chubb start the season on IR, or they aren't fully healthy, so Grayson makes it to the practice squad and gets called up, all you got to do is make a few plays in those first few games, and you're laughing. Same with Leonard Payne. The Dolphins haven't really replaced Christian Wilkins. I'm not saying this is a Christian Wilkins replacement, but again, the Dolphins probably are looking at defensive tackle as a position where after Zach Sealer, anything goes. Anything goes. So they brought in a few guys in free agency. The chances are they'll bring in more guys in free agency, and we'll get to that in another episode. But if you're Leonard Payne, Grayson Murphy, being on the defensive line, you must feel pretty confident, or you should feel pretty confident, that at the very least you can make the final 53.
Kadeem, your internet is booming all of a sudden, bro. I felt like this was a comeback of all comebacks, bro. Your internet was down and out, bro. We were taking the L with the internet, bro. You just came back down 28-3, bro.
It's funny you say that because I'm down to 1 bar again. I don't know what it is. Now I'm 2 bars.
I
wish you could see what I can see, because
you just do a pick. Hey, yeah. UDFA's that are O linemen coming to Miami. Nah, Kadeem, nobody's handed anything. Bradley Chubb is not handed anything. Jalen Phillips is not handed anything. Odell Beckham Jr. thought he was just gonna slide. You feel me? Nah, bro. Like this, the train left the station. Like we have to. Competition breeds excellence. You know what I'm saying? And I like that there is nobody on this roster that is super comfortable, like they don't have to perform all the way up to the quarterback of the franchise. The quarterback of the franchise has so much pressure on this man. Every game, every pass, he's scrutinized. You know what I'm saying? So every position, down to Raheem Mostert and A-Chan competing against one another, and they just brought in a new running back. Jeff Wilson Jr. is not safe. No one's safe anywhere, bro. The safest person on the roster is Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, straight up. And Jalen Waddle ain't get a contract yet. You feel me? And Mike McDaniel call out Tyreek Hill if we seen that that clip that went around on social media. Like, bro, how much money you get paid? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what Coach McDaniel said to Tyreek. How much money you get? Which is frowned upon in the NFL. They don't bring up money. Like, don't bring up people's contracts. And McDaniel was like, nah, bro. How much money how much we paying you, bro? Like, and because we're not getting it out of you right now. And Tyreek Hill said, bro, that's never happened, but I loved it. Like, straight up, call me up.
100%. Shout out to Jason Sarney talking about Matthew Jones, the guard. And he says, can play left or right guard, a Mauling one blocker, solid speed for getting to the next level. I'm not saying he will take Liam Eichenberg's place, but Liam Eichenberg, Isaiah Wynn, these guard spots right now. And again, so much is going to happen over rookie minicamp, training camp, all that kind of stuff. But I genuinely feel that if you're a UDFA and you're in the trenches in Miami, there should be extra special motivation, because there's places to be won, and it's going to be really, really interesting. Really interesting.
Here's my thing. Liam Eichenberg contract is coming up. So we're at a place where we're at the Austin Jackson of the Liam Eichenberg. Like, is Liam Eichenberg gonna show up and like, oh, tardy for the party? Welcome, Liam. You know what I'm saying? We've been waiting for you. Is Liam Eichenberg going to have a breakout season? You know how we talk about breakout seasons for people, positions that are more, productive when it comes to yardage. Like, oh, he had a breakout season. He rushed for 600 yards more than he rushed for last year. Or he had a breakout season. He went from 50 catches to 80 catches or 90 catches. You know what I'm saying? Like we usually say breakout season for offensive players who touch the ball. We don't say breakout seasons for like O-linemen. Liam Eichenberg, we would like for you to have a breakout season. You know what I'm saying? Go solidify one of these interior O-line spots and say, nah, bro, they traded up for me and I'm going to prove my worth and I'm going to go get this bag like Austin Jackson did.
100%.
I don't think it's likely. I don't think it'll happen. But I will say I'm Liam Eichenberg being protected inside, it's safer for me than having them outside, like on the tackles. So
just not at center.
I just Liam Eichenberg, you on the clock. You know what I'm saying? Right now would be a nice time to want to go get a check.
100%. You ready for bonus time?
Hey, y'all know what time it is. Stay positive, test negative. For Kadeem Simmons, I'm Charlie Touche. Thank you for tuning in this time. Make sure you catch us next time on Go Time. Already.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's show time. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Don't waste no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time.
It's not. I don't want to disrespect Gavin Hardinson, the quarterback we took from UTEP. Listen, it is what it is. But as far as I know, the Dolphins didn't pick up any centers. Definitely not in the draft, and not in, as of right now, undrafted free agency. Obviously, that can change over the next few days, weeks, all that kind of stuff. Does that worry you, given that our centers going into the season or going into camp at the very least are Liam Eichenberg and Aaron Brewer?
No, it doesn't bother me. By the way, Liam Eichenberg is in the last year of his contract. Expect him to be traded or expect him to play like his hair is on fire. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I trust the Dolphins will make the right decision either way. The reason why I'm not concerned about center is because I really believe Connor Williams is still in play. I believe Connor Williams and the Dolphins have a relationship that they're monitoring very well, like very closely. Like, yo, Connor Williams still might be a Dolphin when he's healthy. He tore his ACL late in the season, so that means he'll probably be back late this season. You don't know what other teams are going to look like when they're with their rosters, and if someone gets injured, Connor Williams might be available for them. But since he's a free agent, no one signed him and said, hey, we want to reserve your rights for this team. When you get healthy, you're going to play for us. And I think we have the fast track to that. Yo, you were here. You want to be here. We like you. And you were our center last year. And, you know, we want to win right now. We're in a win now situation. So I think Connor Williams is still in play. So the fact that we went Patrick Paul and we brought in some interior help. Wynn came back. Hopefully Wynn could be healthy. Eichenberg is interior. I think Connor Williams gives us enough depth this time to be like, you know what? We're not as bad as you think. On the interior, at least. Tackles is still questionable, but now you got Patrick Paul to back up Armstead. So we're not that down bad, Kadeem.
Yeah, it's interesting. You said on the last episode, you know, you don't trust Pittsburgh to, you know, essentially.
I don't trust them boys to get it right.
Yeah, especially with offensive linemen. But I'm not saying I want, you know, like 25 offensive linemen and you got Butch Barry working overtime and stuff like that. And I'm not saying I wanted them to. No, I would have liked them to get in a true center, be it McCormick, Frazier, it is what it is. But I do think, given again, it kind of follows on from what I was saying before bonus time. These offensive linemen, even looking at a Connor Williams or Dalton Risner, and again, we'll get to those in a free agency episode later down the line. I'm confident that one of these guys, at the very least, like Alama Uluave, shout out to him, made the practice squad last year.
Shout out.
And I do believe that probably one or two of these guys will make the practice squad. But it's just a case of, I feel we didn't address it in the draft, and I think interior offensive lineman is still a somewhat weakness. So I do hope one of these guys, not just for my sake, but for their sake as well, they do pan out. Also, shout out to Hayden Gillum, someone we tried to get on the podcast before the draft. Plays center. He got picked up by the Chicago Bears. So best of luck to you. And as we said, Julius Wilkinson, best of luck to you going forward. Carlos Roballo, best of luck to you as well.
Roballo,
the champ, the absolute champ. Listen, I'm confident these UDFAs work out one way or the other, given our track history over the past few years.
Yeah. Over under a half. So when there's a line set on a half, that means basically, is there going to be one or none? Over under a half of UDFA makes the 53-man roster. Is a UDFA going to make the 53-man roster, Kadeem?
I smashed it over before the draft even started.
Like,
to me, it's a guarantee. And again, it's not just because of recent history. I think this is a coaching staff that trusts in UDFAs. Like, I'll probably say this, and the chance are probably not one single UDFA made the roster last year. But recent history shows the Dolphins are really, really, really good at finding UDFAs. I don't think that's going to stop now, especially you've got Butch Barry on the offensive line, but you've also got, Anthony Weaver turning, and again, it's a 4th round pick, but turning late guys into studs in Baltimore. I reckon he can do the same with some of these defensive guys.
I reckon I don't even use that word at all.
Nah, cool. Guys, thank you for sticking around for another episode of Go Time Dolphins. We shall be back shortly. Again, it's the off season. Come back next episode for the draft hack giveaway. I think I started this episode, but definitely the next episode. We've got so many guests to come up over the next few weeks talking the draft. And then, Charlie, we know where the quarterbacks are. Listen, quarterback rankings episode, and it's going to be interesting because I'll say it very quickly now. What do you do in Atlanta? You got Michael Penix Jr. and Kirk Cousins.
So it's time to get Sherrod Steve back on the episode. And I feel like, you know what? I feel like since last year I conceded and I said, all right, we'll have every team represented. I think this year we should switch it up. Like, every team don't have to be represented and just pick the top 32 best quarterbacks. Like, I feel like it's fair. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all got y'all way last year. Let me get it this year, because we got Justin Fields and Russell Wilson on the same team. We have Michael Penix Jr. and Kirk Cousins on the same team. Like, so we just gonna have 32 quarterbacks and one of them boys not represented at all. Like, come on. Like, so I think we're gonna switch it up a little bit this year.
I know what, we'll get Sherrod Steve so we can finalize the rules, but I think that's fair. But yeah, guys, so much to look forward to on Go Time Dolphins on both YouTube and Patreon. So make sure you stick around, and we shall see you on the next one. Peace.
Oopsie.